So Firuza lost the first game. Hi guys, I'm kind of late. Not planning to stay for the whole duration of this commentary, but you know, just wanted to give you a few observations so far. Quran consistently gets superior positions in the opening, and that's something good that Firuza can learn from Fabi here. You know, openings matter. So in the first game, I mean, Quran blundered the tactic, which allowed Firuza to get back in the game and get the equal position, but then Firuza just overpressed, yeah? And now we're seeing that in the second game, again, Fabi just gets much better, almost winning position from the opening. What we see here is h4 by Vashilya Graf. He's basically playing some good old French swashbuckling chess here. And this transposes into the exchange. Exchange sort of King's Indian, which is supposed to be good for black. I don't know what Maxim is doing. He's I think hi guys. Late start today, was waiting for it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was just you know, decided to take it easy a little bit. I realized the tournament goes until May 1st, so they're gonna go like this every day. So if I stream every day for 5 hours, and you know, that'll be the end of me. So I'm gonna take, you know, some small breaks here and then. So a quick recap. Let's do some quick recap probably, right? So let's do a quick recap here. The quick recap here was that here we have Vashilya is saying Sicilian Shevchenko against Carlsen, and Magnus playing basically bishop c4 d3, which is giving up a tempo. Some a little sort of provocation, a little bit psychological provocation, but in the end, you know, black gets this d5 in and he equalizes, even though the structure, you know, slightly better for white, but it's just completely equal. Pawns are traded, and so it's a dead draw, right? So very even game, except at this point black plays queen b3, and queen f3 was a mistake, right? So b7, and if d2, and then probably bishop takes, rook b1, rook b2, queen c6, queen c8, and there is probably queen for white. So queen f3 was a mistake. After that was a draw, and Firuza here, he was completely lost in the opening. Yeah, he sacrificed a pawn, but after this sequence, b4 is terrible, allows black to get this rook to c4 or knight to c4. Too premature. Yeah, if black just castles, so plays knight a4, he is much better. So very good opening for Fabi. Now this is a draw, but then you know, this kid, he overpresses. No respect for Fabiano, and you know, no respect at all, and basically mates first. So so now we come to the second game, and we see here what we see here again in Corana versus Firuza. We see that Fabiano consistently gets superior positions in the opening. So that, I think that's a very good lesson for the kid, that, you know, he has to pay attention to the openings here, because, you know, white just grabs this pawn, right, and he's already much better. Pair of bishops, very strong position. Black has no basically counterplay here, and so now he has to take on b5, and black loses the exchange. So again, technical win. Black didn't survive the opening, and that's how Firuza is gonna lose this match. And here we saw Maxim playing very swashbuckling chess here, except that he now plays d takes e5. Very strange, very strange. If you play h4, you should really go and play d5 now, right? Makes a lot more sense to me. You know, try to be consistent, because, I mean, we have this line in King's Indian where white has knight on e3 instead of pawn on h4, which is probably more useful. And here black is probably just better, yeah. So knight d4, first line. Magnus, of course, is very strong, yeah. So knight g4. Computer like c5. I kind of like c5 too, but it's actually, hi guys, hi, just for fun. Yeah. So I'm kind of taking it a little bit easy, my commentary in this tournament, because you know, this tournament's gonna go like for a long time, and I need to save energy, and yeah. So knight g4, Okay, reasonable, why not? Black gets this very nice bishop on e3. Again, Magnus gets the kind of position which he excels at. So look at all these pawns that white has, right? He has two double pawns, great structure for white, for black. White can be dreaming about the draw here. The question is, can he make this draw? Probably, but it will not be easy against Magnus. Yeah, it's very provocative play. But in the previous game, then Magnus was also playing provocatively, right? First he played bishop c4, and then he went back with the bishop on d3, like, okay, I changed my mind, I'm not going to play for Sozin. So, and then he took on c6, just basically saying, you know, I lose a tempo in the opening, but then I just go and trade stuff and I make a draw, and in fact, it was much better, right? So, this endgame obviously is much better for black, because, you know, white has way too many weaknesses. I mean, looking at the structure, you know, Rubinstein would be like laughing really hard. He would say, oh my god, it's like, I have a draw in the pocket, and then attacking pawn on a2, pawn on g2, these double pawns here. Like, black rook on a5 is having a field day. So, he's having a blast, right? Backgammon chess. Was h6 supposed to be his plan? No, his plan was actually to play d5 here instead of taking on e5. I mean, if you play this, then you should probably play d5, but it's just, I don't think Maxim actually plays this sort of stuff with white. So basically, he gambled here, and when position reached this point, then you sort of really start wondering. h6 was probably necessary. Yeah, I actually agree with that. h6 was necessary, but if you play h6, then you have this thought in your head, potentially that pawn is like way advanced, right? And if, you know, black sort of exchanges everything, that pawn will be weak. Black is just gonna grab that pawn eventually in the endgame. So I mean, any pawn endgame is basically lost, right, for white. So h6 is usually played when you're absolutely sure, when you're absolutely positive that you have some really serious piece invasion in the center, and black has no way to get to that pawn, because that bishop on h8 is going to come back, right? He's going to come back eventually by playing bishop f6, and then black will play bishop e7, f6, king f7, bishop f8. Классическая пешечная структура. Ну, не знаю. Okay. Yeah, so it's funny. So we see now Firuza is trying, he is completely lost. He is completely lost because knight on b6 is bad. White has rooks basically on the open files, right? White king is very safe. Black has not a single plan how to complicate matters, so he goes into tactics and he gives up this pawn, and which white probably has to take because it opens his own rook on the f file, right? So basically Firuza is just lost, yeah? I think he got really rattled by the previous loss in the first game. He used the tactical oversight by Fabi to equalize the game in the opening, but then he tried really hard to go for a win and beat Fabi, but in no respect, yeah, because Fabi is a candidate, and I don't think Firuza actually played someone of Fabi's caliber yet. I mean, one thing you're playing Magnus when Magnus is like being a lazy boy, and he just sort of like plays banter blitz with you, or playing some crazy chess trying to to say like your tactics are not impressing me, kid. So Firuza поплыл, maybe a little bit, but these young kids, again, going back to that famous Jack London boxer story. Remember, like in that story, that youngster, he was like, already almost like in knockdown state. But when you're young, you regenerate really fast, right? And if you just let them, they will come back like that, and they'll be back at the normal, state of being. Okay, so that's why Fabi needs actually like to deliver this knockout blow. Yeah. Okay, so let's pick up boxing terminology here. So white needs to develop this knockout blow. So how he's gonna do that? So well, yeah, he should, but he is probably trying. He's trying to play different styles. He's been playing this style against Carlsen, and it seemed to work for him. But this doesn't quite work on Fabiano, right? So he's learning. It's a good experience for him. So because Fabiano is he's doing like this. Okay, bring it, kid. I'll take everything you have. I'll protect everything, and then I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, with all that material that you give me. Yeah. I mean, if you notice, you know, Carlsen never gives Fabiano any material, right? He never sacrifices stuff against him. He just basically outplays him later and presses him on time. I mean, Fabi's biggest problem was always this clock thing. So that's how Magnus, but Firuza is trying to out-tactic, to out-calculate. Fabi is like a really risky strategy. Probably is going to backfire. So Queen G5, Bishop E2, okay, protecting extra, right? Fabi is not giving anything. Yeah, he just keeps on hoarding the material. Knight D7, Queen D3, okay, probably H4, or Rook C3. I'm not sure about this Rook C3 though, because Rook C3 is very strange, yeah? You just allow black to play D4, and then that queen goes to D5 or Knight E5. You cement this bishop on E3. Very strange move. I would probably expected a move like H4 from Fabi, because it forces black queen to go to E5 and take that square from the knight, right? I mean, queen on E5 is not that great. And then white can just play B4, you know, take the C5 square. So important thing for white now is also... okay, so time difference, actually Fabiano is up on time. So Rook C7, Queen D5, check, Bishop F3, Queen D6. He's gonna probably go and grab this pawn on A7, yeah? He probably will. Oh my god, Fabiano is so greedy sometimes. Okay, alright, good job. No, not taking that pawn, but I'm not sure about this being a good job, but according to the computer it forces the queen exchange, because if you play Queen E5, then I guess it's something like maybe B4, yeah? And if queen goes somewhere else, there's Bishop D5, Rook G6 thing going on, possibly. So, or maybe Rook G6 immediately, yeah? Rook G6 immediately, then Queen G6 and Bishop E4. So no Queen B8, maybe Queen E7, maybe. Okay, so maybe Queen E7, but then you have probably Bishop D5, yeah? Bishop D5, Knight E5, and then if Rook G6, then King H8, so that probably does not work. So Bishop D5, Knight E5, and what? And what? I don't know. So, but Bishop D5 looks kind of cool. Queen E4 looks also cool, yeah. So I'm not doing any engine thing here. I'm only doing the chess bomb engine. So that's what I'm doing. Analysis board, we're not gonna do that today, because it's... this is easy. I have here, I should pause it probably, yeah? Alright, so this is completely winning for white. Let's go back to Carlsen game. Carlsen brings in the king, basically bringing in the big gun. But white protects everything, right? King is standing on D3, rook is just hanging out on F2, B2. And white does have extra pawn, even though it's like pretty ugly. But it's probably gonna end up in a draw, because not much to play with for black. And white does target that F6 pawn, right? На рога похоже. Okay, so we have some Russian fans here in our channel. Thank you guys for joining the channel. This is actually English-speaking channel, but on occasion I will talk in some Russian, so I hope you guys don't mind that. So this is gonna be a draw. And see, here we have King G7. Wait a second, why didn't he take on C6? Because of that Queen G6 line, right? Queen G6, King H8, Queen takes C6, and this looks pretty good. But after... oh, Rook F7 was just winning. Wow, Rook F7 was winning, according to the computer. This is also winning, of course, but I really like Rook F7, right? Rook F7, Bishop F7. Black cannot play Knight C6 because of Queen G6, Queen G8 mate. Black cannot recapture this bishop with queen or knight. That means he has to recapture with a king. And then Queen D5 check, followed by Rook E6. And white recaptures a knight, and he has everything. Everything that he could ever want. So white is winning. That means Firuza is going to be down 2 points out of 4 games. Basically, this means he lost the match. And so we're going to see some consolation games probably after this. I mean, 5 is 6 minutes, huge material advantage, attack, right? And no, right, 1-0, right? So black just resigns. Wow. Okay, so this looks like a really one-sided affair. Yeah. In Russian, it's called being избивание младенцев. Yeah, I'm not sure how is it in English. Yeah, there should be probably a saying in English, something similar. What?
It's very cruel, my advice.
Very cruel? Yeah, okay, so my wife saying it's very cruel, I'm being very cruel to the kid. But okay, he dishes out as just as good as he takes.
Just a messenger.
Ah,
Just a messenger.
well, yeah, okay, but still, you know, it's a little bit of the trash talking. Thank you for subscribing, Dukis. All right, so this was the this game here, and we see Carlsen trying to do something, probably trying to pull a Carlsen, yeah. But even if he plays b5, right? Even if he managed to play b5, it's just gonna capture on b5 with rook standing on f2. Black king can never go to e5. And the only thing I'm thinking of here, if black is gonna get this pawn on b5, pawn on c5, and then rook a3 with the idea of b4. But then, of course, you know, white is gonna probably play rook b2 and now start targeting the b5 pawn. So I'm not sure what Magnus is trying to do. He is lower on time, and okay, so b5 is actually planned. Okay, but through c5. Ooh, what is going on here? What is going on here? Rook a4, obviously. Oh, rook h7 and rook c7. All right, so white gives up this bad pawn, and he manages to actually exchange very important pawn, and now he goes for the a4, and this is just a draw. Because after a4, b takes a4, rook a4. Yeah, Magnus kind of screwed up a little bit here. You know, because now white is completely okay. In fact, white might start playing for a win. Because after he exchanges the a pawns, right, rook goes to f5, and white will go for that e5, fe5, rook g5 break. So Magnus has to be careful now. He is actually worse here. So I don't know. So we have 37 people in the channel. I'm doing a light version today of the commentary, so probably not planning on sticking around with the round number 4. Maybe a little bit stay for round number 3 a little bit, because tomorrow we have the LiChess title event. You guys see it, right? There is title arena tomorrow on LiChess. It's bullet, right? It's 1+0. So you guys, all you guys who are fans of the bullet, you know, tomorrow's the thing, right? Also today I have the Simul for my subscribers. Just, you know, to appreciate you guys. The Simul is at 9 o'clock Moscow time, and any subscriber can participate. So yeah, and you know, it was kind of strange. What is Magnus doing? He is, and if rook check and rook c6, then hello, Magnus, what are you doing? All right, so if check. Alright, king e5, rook c6, probably check on d8. King somewhere, then rook goes h8, probably, yeah? Rook d8 and now rook h8. Rook h8, rook c5, king e4 with the idea of rook h2. Alright, so king d3 back, rook d8 back, it's a draw. So, okay, so this is a draw. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday I was trying this basically test Simul, but today I'm gonna make it Simul, but for my subscribers, right? And I'm just only thinking about what opening to play with you guys, because I'm thinking about making a thematic London system opening for the Simul today, or you guys can ask me to play maybe Hippo in the Simul. So, you know, or just basically leave it up to me. For US players, 9 p.m. Moscow is 11 Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I realized that. I realize that. So there's still some kind of a small fight here. White's gonna grab this pawn on f6, black is gonna grab this pawn on e3, play rook c3, king f4. Not much of a fight though. Yeah, but okay, still, right? You can still catch up, right? I mean, 11 a.m. Pacific. I know Californians like to do a lot of things, but it's already 11, so they all wake up, yeah. You all want to learn London system? Yeah, and one of these days I'm also going to start doing the London series videos, but probably gonna do that based on my own games. So I'm gonna start with the basics and king d2. And the point is rook e2. There is no rook e2 here, right? Black just grabbed, plays king d4, so you have to take on f6. Unless you want to play c5, but then let's check on d3. Rook d5 just looks like a draw completely. So this looks very drawish. I don't know what they're playing. You were the first Super GM to bring the London trend in the lead. I would like to think so. Yes, I would like to think so. And actually, I had a lot of fun games. I played the c3 reverse Slav against Kuryakin, and I beat him in Vike with that opening. King d4, king f3. What? King d4, king f3? What? Okay, take c6, king d5, just draw. Yeah. Rook d6 maybe, yeah, because king d5, just draw. King d5 and then rook c4. Yeah. I don't see any. Okay, black can play king e5. Okay, it's the same thing. King e5, rook c4, you win a tempo even, right? By attacking the rook. So this is a draw. So that was what? King d5, c7, rook c4, rook f5, king e4. Okay, they made a draw, finally. So that was the round number 2. We're gonna have round number 3 here. And alright, so while they're thinking, let's go to LiChess. And you guys can challenge me while I am waiting for the moves. Alright, so where are the challenges? 3-0, please, only. Yeah, so Maxim survived that lousy endgame, but it's not something you want to get with white. I think they're just having fun here, you know, in this tournament, because the tournament's so bloody long. They play like four rapids in the day, every day, yeah. Poor guys. Alright. I'm late. No. You know what the Gandalf said when this kid, just at the beginning of the first movie of Lord of the Rings, remember what Gandalf said? He said, "Young man, a wizard is never late. He knows exactly when he is arriving, precisely the time he wants to." Alright? So, my young friend, that's what I'm doing. E5? Okay, but then my knight comfortably develops to h6. The idea is that if you took on d5, I obviously cannot recapture the queen, but then you have a6, right? So that was the idea. And now, of course, I have to think here. So let's probably... I don't really want to capture this thing, so maybe a6 first. And then maybe... Alright, now I can capture this, actually. I'm your wizard friend. Yes, I love wizards. I love wizards. They're cool. In my book, they're very cool. So e6, not something that I really want to play. But that pawn on d5 is hanging, actually, yeah. So that pawn is actually hanging, and... Alright, so, okay, maybe white gets some small advantage here, because my bishop on g7 kind of bad. And he gets this nice d4 square, but I don't think something to worry about, because white don't really have an attack here on my king. So at some point I will probably prepare... Oh, knight e4 is coming. Very smart. Alright. So let's play bishop d7 first then. Well, there was knight e4. Well, okay, there was, yeah. Knight e4 was actually a threat, because knight f6, you don't really want to allow white to get to knight to f6. So, castles, knight f5, rook c8. And black should be okay, because I want to exchange this bishop. As soon as it comes to e3, I'm gonna play knight f5 and grab this bishop. And because if white is allowed to keep this bishop, he'll have a very important hold on this d4 square, and I can really never play f6, because he will exchange this. He will exchange that my bishop and has control of the dark squares, with all my pawns being on the light squares. That is not good for business. All right, so let's grab this bishop immediately. Rook c8. And now we're gonna start pushing these pawns. And play f6 maybe at the very opportune moment. but try to keep white pieces disorganized. Yeah. Disorganized crime, 95, is it a threat? I don't think it's a threat, but I respect your idea, and this is why I'm gonna play this move. And bishop on d7 I like. Queen c5 maybe too early. 94 is a threat. No, I don't think 94 is a threat, so let's play a5. Because 94 I just probably just take it, yeah. Take on c2. h5 with the idea of knight g5. Interesting. Interesting. Alright. I believe you. h5. So what's going on here? We have the tournament start yet? Not yet. Okay. Not yet. And the best thing to do, I have found, is by experience, is basically to go into the endgames when you're afraid for your king safety. So knight d4 is probably correct, and then probably just f5 now. But then he grabs this pawn. Alright, queen b6 then, yeah. Queen b6. Sort of, you know, the spin. Open your rook. Rook can go to c4, but most importantly the spin. And then I'm ready to play f5. And yeah, I have to play f5 here because I don't want to allow that h5 thing coming up. And this is going to be a fun position. I think black is doing fine here. Got your book, slowly rereading through the first game with Hulak. Can anyone challenge me? Well, basically I was accepting challenges because, you know, we are waiting for the... we're waiting for the dragons. Just kidding. We're waiting for the guys in the tournament to start. Bishop e8, protect. To protect and to serve, right? Who is your master? Let me ask you this one time. Why Gamora? Who is Gamora? Right? Yeah, that was great, yeah. Attack this knight. Yeah, let's attack this guy. I can do one better. Who is Gamora? Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, so extra stuff. Yeah. Two bishops. Bishops are coming later. And this is gonna be great. Kick this queen out. And prepare the invasion, I guess. Bishop h6. Oh, you have queen f6. Alright, bishop g6. I don't want to play bishop g6. Alright, let's grab this. Oh, there will be knight f5, I guess. No, maybe. I don't know. Who cares? Bishop g6. Alright, I win on time. Gamora's legend turned dust. Yeah, okay. Alright, so these guys probably started. Let's check it out. No, they haven't started yet. Come on, guys. Come on. Alright, I don't want to miss the start of the games because I'm not gonna stay for the last round probably because, yeah, no problem. That was a good game, by the way, dude. That was a good game. I like the way you know, really tried to get to my king. That's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. You actually caused me some uncomfortable moments. Yeah. I mean, since you're gonna play, right? Why not just play some chess and go for it? I agree. And we have a raider. We have a raider in our channel. Thank you very much for raiding. Next games will start in another 4 minutes. Okay, so let me then practice bullet. Somebody wants to challenge me bullet. I apologize. I know I said 3-0, but somebody challenged me bullet. I need to practice before tomorrow's titled event on yeah, bullet. Yeah. Give me some bullet challenge, guys. Somebody. All right, you fast. You go. All right, let's go. Ah, this is bullets. Ah, move your pieces. Keep your pieces safe and pawns safer from the pawn grabber. I'm your pawn grabber. Your famous pawn grabber. That's who I am. Yeah, attack. When in bullet, attack. That I learned. That's one thing you learn when you play bullet. Don't want to close the position. My God, this guy is smart. So there is no attack here, and what am I gonna do? How am I gonna survive this? I don't know. Grab, rook a2. Grab, double or nothing. b4. Yeah, this guy is fast. This guy is fast. Yeah, I like how fast you are, dude. That is impressive. Rook e7. Boom. Now 97. Hopefully no pre-move, because if I pre-move rook f7, he plays 97. I lose the rook, right? So no pre-moving here. Gotta be careful. Ooh, we have a check. All right. We got a check. I'm allowed to flag you. You are allowed to do anything you want. Because this is bullet, right? Everything is fair. All right, let's test how London system is in bullet. Is it any good? Yeah, probably it's not good. Bishop d3. Yeah, I sacrificed this pawn. I remember it was a good sacrifice. Because you get like massive compensation for it. The compensation is huge. Yeah, that bishop like on d6 is like, wow. That bishop is wow. Okay, a4. The hunt for the Red October starts, yeah? Okay, so what we need here is to do something. Game started, yes, okay, right after this game I will do it, so give me a second. Knight c4, knight d6, yes, we got this knight to d6, thank you very much. Boom, f5, e5, attack. We attack. We want to attack. f5. Who cares about this thing, right? When you can just go and mate something. I don't know. Rook g3. e6. Boom. Ah, smart guy. Knight. Check. Ah. Oh my god, I blundered that. Ooh. Alright. Okay, so thank you for squeezing your opponent. Yeah, in a way. Yeah, but this is bullet. Alright, so I'm just getting practice necessary for tomorrow. So we see another Slav. Actually, this is like famous trick, yeah. And but I don't know. Remember how Maxim lost yesterday in 16 moves to Dink? Because you don't play bishop f5 in this line. I don't know why he's playing this. But okay, Carlsen, he just basically relaxed. He just lets it go. He plays the... Basically, you get this system, transposition to the main system. But queen b3 was the Dink move. I think it was correct move. Basically, white just gets a much better game. Unless Maxim analyzes it with the computer or something. Because bishop f5, queen b3, it was always considered to be bad for black. So probably... thank you for subscribing, guys. So let's see. Here we have another Slav. So we see Slav day today, yeah? We see Maxim playing Slav, we see Fabi playing Slav, and but now we see this queen c2 Slav, actually a tricky one. And Fabi is actually going for the c5, which is old school, transposing the Tarish. Sometimes it says that the queen on c2 will be hit by that rook on c8, which is coming in a Tarish. So so the queen will have to go, and then it becomes true Tarish. Except the queen has to go where? We don't know where. So this is good for black, I believe. So take knight d5. a3 looks very Petrosian-like, right? a3. Kind of interesting. a3, yeah. e4 makes more sense, but okay, a3, maybe. White prepares sort of slow play. Knight goes, second knight goes to f3, knight to f3, followed by e4, and then bishop d3, bishop f4, rook c1, something standard, right? I don't have commands for my channel set up, so I have no idea if those commands work. Probably they don't. So a3, bishop e7. So far, you know, very quiet positional game. I kind of like white's position more though, because definitely something wrong happened here. I think 5e should have taken here on d5 with the pawn and gone for this true Tarrasch, just as I was talking about. Again, that would probably work really well. He doesn't like positions where he ruins his pawn structure though. That's one thing about Fabiano. He likes to be very solid player with a good structure, and probably that's why he didn't take it with the pawn. But now the bishop on c8 will be a problem, because that bishop is not gonna go anywhere really comfortably. e4, knight f6, e5, bishop d3, all goes with the tempo, right? And white's game basically plays by itself. So yeah, I like white's position now. So this was pretty good preparation by Firouzja, actually. You know, he got into really worse positions in the first two games. e5, bishop d3, probably, yeah. I mean, anybody in his, you know, normal mind. Oh, queen e2, queen e4 now. Oh my god. Queen e2, queen e4. This is like standard, right? But of course, if you play g6, you go for that h4, h5. So black is getting killed, actually. Black is getting killed because in the opening he now completely disrespected. It's Fabi's turn to disrespect Firouzja, and he's gonna pay for it with the hard currency, with the 1-0 binary style sort of result, yeah. Because on the chess, the hard currency is your score. I mean, money talks in general world, but in chess, it's your score that talks. So, queen e2, yeah. Queen e4, and then queen g4, right? And then bishop h6. Attack play itself, exactly. Well, okay, so black will have to play probably knight d7 now, and queen e4, g6. Oh, but there is knight e6. Oh my god, there's knight e6. Alright, so maybe knight a6, but knight a6 and b4. I was thinking about knight d7, try to rush this knight to f8, but it seems that there's no time. Right, knight d7, queen e4, f5. Aha, f5, right? So there's things such as f5. So knight d7 might still be playable. And then if queen e4, then f5. And maybe e takes f6. Knight 7 takes f6. But that pawn on e6 will be like forever weak, yeah? White will just have field day playing around this pawn. Can't see black ever getting playable position. Well, you'll be surprised what Fabiano can pull. The kind of trick out of his head, yeah? Or the kind of cat out of his head, I guess. So 97, yeah, I mean, that's the only move that I can think of. So it's been played. That's nice. And we are going back to Carlsen game, and he is playing the standard long castle in this position. And black is going for this very standard a6, c5, although I think white usually plays king b1 here. 94 is a rare move. A rare bird these days. The idea is that, yeah, I don't like white position now. I think Magnus just having a fun playing chess in this tournament. He is not taking this very seriously. Because, I mean, look at this 94. I mean, king b1 is a book move, makes a lot of sense. You get the king away, then put your rook on c1, which is what is everybody doing, right? So 94. Unless he's doing, he's thinking of some very deep idea. Can he take on c5 maybe? I really doubt it, because then white's central pawns on e4, e3 will be really bad. But if he plays king b1, then it's the c4, knight c6, and black pawns are really close to white king. And I would love to play black side of this position. Especially if black managed to play e5 and block this pawn on e4. The thing is, if white gets to play e5, then he actually might be better, right? Because bishop gets into play, then you have all sorts of things coming to the f7 pawn. So king b1, c4, queen c2, e5, probably the best way for black to play it. But then you take on e5, and then if knight c6, knight e7, e6, so it's complicated. It's more complicated than that. See, the problem is c4, queen c2, knight c6, e5, right? I cannot evaluate this position. I think black is okay. Maybe even after simple bishop before exchanging one pair of bishops, right? And then black should be okay, right? Because knight goes to e7, e5, d5. But it's very complicated. So, oh, knight c6 immediately. Knight c6 immediately. No. Risky business. What is the most interesting comeback game? I mean, game in which you were completely lost and then you won. Ooh, dude, I can't even recall immediately. Yeah, you took me by surprise there.
In Stockholm, for example.
What?
In Stockholm?
Stockholm?
Yes.
No, but he asking if I win the game. If I make a miracle draw, I have plenty of miracle draws. Plenty of them. So now queen e2, so we discussed this, right? And black survives the opening. So the question is here is, you see what the computer says white should have done? He should have castled first and prepared queen e4, because he played queen e4 early. Now, yeah. And now this queen g6 was probably even better. I have to agree with the computer here, queen g6. Because queen on e2 is solid, but both missed e5. I kind of failed to see the point of e5. If knight e5, then probably... what? I don't know. Queen b6 looks human, right? Castles, bishop d7, black completes development, so he survives. Black survives the attack. White is definitely better, but black survives, so he can hope to make a draw here. ML Newslav style suit is neat. Let's go back here. Knight c6. I was talking about e5 earlier, but it was not meant for this position. So let's ask the question: what happens if black takes on d4 here? If black takes on d4, is probably bishop f3. Probably. And if rook c8, then rook b1, yeah? So I think that's the trick. So the computer suggests rook c8 on chess bomb, the computer. And the computer likes to keep tension with the pawn on c5, not playing c4 here, because if you play c4, you sort of take this pressure away from white's pawn on d4. And black wants actually to sort of castles, play rook d8, queen b6. And cd4 has been played, and my god. Okay, so bishop f3 is the first line, as we mentioned. So bishop f3 looks normal. Rook c8, rook c1, queen b6. And we have all sorts of pins that black commits himself to. And the way these guys are playing is like they're absolutely careless. They're careless and they just have fun, which is not bad. Yeah, we like that. It's much more interesting than to see them sweat it out like in every day. If they have to sit there for 5 hours every day, thinking very long about each move. But here they are in the free element of natural chess, element where you have intuition and quick calculation skills, very important. And I don't know, queen b6, oh, queen d7. Yeah, queen b6 was kind of, I expected queen b6 to be honest, because queen on d7 blocks the d file, but it's still okay. Oh, it's not okay, he missed queen c2. Oh my god, you guys see this, right? Queen c2, knight a7, queen c8, knight c8, bishop c6. What a magnificent cheapo by white. This is cheapo. And of course Magnus finds it. Of course. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Guys, this is what he missed. Yeah? This is why you have to just, not only trust your intuition, but you have to calculate. You have to calculate. If black plays queen b6, there is no such thing here. There is such a thing as bishop a5 maybe. But bishop a5, queen a5, bishop c6, king f8, king g8, opposite color bishops, and yeah, it's still pretty dangerous for black, yeah. So I would say this taking on d4 here, taking on d4 was premature. So yeah, opening white's pair of bishops when black is still in the center, when the king is still in the center, is death wish. And now we see that black loses in exchange by force. Knight a7 has to be played. d3, queen c6, right? So Firouzja versus Carlsen. Let's go back here. We see white put the bishop on c4. I don't know about this one, to be honest. I really like bishop d2 move, you know, just quiet developing move. Black cannot take on b2 with the queen because of rook b1, and then white sort of prepares b4. You know, connects the rook together so the rook can join the game, right? And that makes absolutely natural. Bishop c4 also makes sense, but this bishop is going to be looking at this knight like for a very long time. And bishop d6, rook d1. Alright, so white plays very solidly. He's probably, yeah, so this is point 29, it's very close to being equal now. So what's going on? If MFL survives this, I'll be most impressed. So I can't recall, back to the Fonza question, I can't really recall right now the game like that. I can't really recall. I mean, a classical game, I can't recall, to be honest. But I'll keep your question in mind. And if you're here, like for the today's simulator, I'll go over some of my games and I'll check if I have something like that, okay? And I'll get back to you. Because right now, you know, I'll have to go through my database of games. Who knows? Yeah, I don't think Maxim will survive this. He might, yeah. He has some chances. Knight c8, bishop c6. And then maybe d3 or knight b6, trying to get white to take on d4. Plant that knight on d5, that massive knight on d5, and then sort of protect that f7 pawn at all costs and hope for that knight to d5 to stabilize the position and carry him to a draw. Which will not be easy. Not easy at all, guys. So knight c8, bishop c6, and now there's a critical moment. So we're thinking knight b6, knight d5 here, yeah? You don't really want to take this pawn on e3 because bishop takes on e3 and black knight, yeah. So knight b6 is a GM move. That is a grandmaster move here, right here. And probably white has to take on d7, right? Or take on d4. I mean, doesn't matter in which order because black is going to plant that knight on d5. So let's go back here for a second. Black already completed development. White's bishop is still on c1. You know, what a change from a couple of moves ago when black, like, compare this position. When white developed his pieces with a tempo, he had more pieces developed, he had attack going, right? And now look at this position and it seems like, what was white doing all this time, right? What was he doing? And the answer is, it's not so simple. Chess is not so simple. Black still has that pawn on e6, which is kind of weak. And if he's going to play rook e8, hoping for that e5 break, white just might well play knight e5 himself. I mean, if white had this rook on a1, standing on a1, that would be close to winning technical position. But because this rook is on a1 where he stands, and white cannot develop this bishop on c1 yet, that is why black has chances. Okay, so let's go back here to this game. Knight b6, take, e4, and knight d5, or we might look at some moves like rook h4 maybe, yeah. Rook h4, wow, guys, I'm not bad, yeah. I'm playing like a first line computer on chess bomb. Wow. Okay, because you sort of like no automatic moves, right? Knight d5 is an automatic move. But rook h4, sort of like hitting that pawn on d4, activating the rook also is not bad. Because now white has h4, I'm not sure what is this h4 all about, to be honest. Probably h3 or g3 makes more sense, you know, to prevent and bring the king over to the king side. So g3, king e4, king f3 or something like that, followed by h4. White has to play slow. I mean, materially, it is completely equal number of pawns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pawns are equal, and it's only knight versus rook. Although knight is beautiful, right? Knight on d5 is absolutely gorgeous knight. Look at this knight. Oh, and Magnus finds this h4. Wow. Magnus finds h4. What is the point of h4? If black just takes on h4, then what? What? I don't know. Rook h4, bishop h4, rook h1, bishop f2. And then rook f1. Okay, and you take on f7, take on g7, but if black doesn't play bishop f2, he has to go back to e7, and then you have rook h8, and that rook swings over to the a8 queen side. Basically what white needs to do is to get his rooks into enemy king, right? And then white will be winning. So that's the reason behind this h4 move. So let's go back here for a second. Rook fe8. I was talking about knight e5 here earlier, and the computer is not impressed with knight e5. The computer is not impressed with knight e5, and the reason is because black has bishop a4, right? Because knight on d4 doesn't get that support. That knight on f3 provides this knight d4. White knights, this so-called the pair, like in esports, you have this pair of heroes that are stronger together than individually, right? So this is like in chess also. In chess also you have this piece coordination that work together in a tandem better than they are solo. So this concept applies to chess as well. So h3, again a grandmaster move, right? This kid is learning. Basically aloof at some point, also getting that h2 pawn away from potential danger, I guess. Queen a6, kind of unusual. Because black sort of ruins his pawn structure even further. Just rated the channel with 20 viewers. Thank you, Big Fish, for rating my channel. Big Fish, are you the Big Fish on the chess.com? Because I think Big Fish is Fedosseev there, yeah? So Big Fish 95, thank you. Thank you for rating. So what is going on here? So Queen a6. I'm not sure I like this move. I kind of like this e5 idea. I know that it's kind of scary, especially with the bishop on a2. Fedosseev. All right, thank you, Mr. Fedosseev. Appreciate your rating the channel. So. Looking at this position, trying to figure out what's going on here. And quickly, of course, I'm pretty sure the Firouzja is pretty happy to exchange the queens, because he just gets, another set of pawns to work on. It's like, massaging those weaknesses, that structure for a win. Karpov was really good in this thing. Also, a lot of technical players are really good at this. Actually, Fedosseev had some absolutely fantastic games in the end games where he outplayed people. So, I don't know. I really don't like this decision by Fabiano to play Queen a6. Practically speaking, here it's much easier to play with white now. Okay, now he goes and plays e5. And probably knight e2 has to be played, because that's the most logical square for a knight to go later to c3. And black pawns, a7, a6 pawns, they will require a lot of defensive resources, which should be not that simple. I'm sure we have missed the date. What about the London System lecture? It's coming. These next few days I will start doing it, because we have this tournament, Magnus International Tournament. It's every day happening, right? We have to cover it. I mean, but on a side note, if you're interested, if you're my subscriber, I'm doing the Simul for my subscribers today on LiChess at 9 p.m. Moscow time, which is 2 hours from now. And I'm gonna get a break after this round, so I'm not gonna cover the fourth round. You can ask the Super GM Fedosseev to cover the fourth round for you guys. So if you don't see me later, then I'll be on LiChess doing the Simul, okay? The London System, I'm planning to do the lecture on later, okay? But it will be on YouTube, because I need to write it, I need to record it, I need to think about it and how to do it. It will probably be based on my games. 2 weeks to play, but it's just like it's a Simul. Like I mean, that's exactly what the Simul is for, right? Because I play so many people at the same time. Like, ask people in the chat who played this test Simul against me yesterday, right? I was blundering rooks and bishops and knights all over the place. I lost like 7 freaking games out of 35, yeah? I was like a disaster. So, unfortunately, I cannot sign later your score sheet, right? I wish there was a way to sign the score sheet, right? You were just being too nice to us. Nah, I was. It was the first time for me, so I was curious. So about this end game, Bishop A5. I really like this Rook AC1, not allowing the Rook go to C2. Fight for the file. Basically there is this thing, there is the concept, right, where you don't give your opponent an inch, right? So that Bishop A5 kind of, I don't know. Rook C5 also makes more sense, to be honest. But okay, Rook C2. Knight C3 has to be played, unless Firouzja is gonna play Rook D2, which is the second line. But Knight C3 is actually, yeah, Knight C3, Bishop C3, Bishop C5 is already iffy. Yeah, I was pretty tired. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to Carlsen. We see that Magnus wins the game because Black actually took on H4, and he should not have done that. And he allowed Bishop F2, Rook F1, as mentioned. And White Rook just joins that the king hunt, and Black resigns because Rook switches over to A7, and Black loses. And again, Maxim loses in this line in Slav. I don't know why he's playing Slav. I don't know. He lost to Dink yesterday in 16 moves, right? A super mega pooper GM loses in 16 moves. And by playing this opening, it gotta tell you something. This opening is not for you. You should not play this opening if you lose in 16 moves. No matter who you are, okay? So it's just like you don't. It's just like a calling from the bar, right? It's saying, dude, you should not play this. It's not your life. It's not your style, all right? Yeah, I mean, it's not superstition. It's just the basic logic, right? I mean, this is the reason why we choose the openings according to our style, and we try not to go against the nature, right? It's like if you're a great musician, and then you really hard and try to prove that you're a great boxer, right? Like, some things in nature, like they have the order of doing things the way it should be done. So same way here. So knight f4, Fabi is actually going to try to escape with a draw because his pawn structure is bad, right? Look at all these pawns. Double pawns here, isolated pawn on e5. So he's trying to trade his way into a draw here. And if knight c3, then obviously knight d3 or e4 maybe even. I really like computer move king f1. That sort of brings the king closer to the center, away from the potential tricks related to bishop c5. And okay, so rook e6, king f1 I like. Knight f actually can take on f4, and after taking on e4, then sort of rook c1, king f1, knight f3 sort of chill out, because black double pawns on the a file are forever weak. Yeah, this is pretty cool way to play for white. I agree. Because these double pawns on a file, they'll be like hunting black for an eternity, because basically any endgame is lost. Any endgame, especially the pawn endgame, is lost. I wouldn't say any endgame, probably the bishop endgame is draw. But even then, you have to constantly protect that pawn on a7 with your bishop on b6, which means the bishop will have to be standing on this diagonal, and that means that you cannot switch to any other diagonal or something like that. And rook e1, king e1, white just gonna start trading stuff and going to the pawn endgame, which is completely winning. Thanks again to this double pawn on a6. So, Magnus wins, and this was actually the first win for Magnus in this match. So that means if he draws the fourth game, then he wins the match. And Maxim actually collapsed, right? I think today he plays at much lower level than he did yesterday. Want to play Jay-Z? Yeah, that's actually a better analogy. I like that. Thank you. Gradius rum. Rum like alcohol rum, or is there something different? Yeah. There was a time when I was drinking a little bit of alcohol. I used to be actually drinking very, very little bit. And I really loved that rum thing, and it was being mixed with some light. It was like great drink. Yeah, it was like this milky a little bit. Yeah, it was probably different. Yeah, maybe coconut rum or something. So again, I'm not much on alcohol. Yeah, even though there's a saying that Russians like vodka and stuff. It's like all those superstitious things, stereotypical. Yeah, but who knows? But the weather in Saint Petersburg today, it feels like almost like winter. We just went out with my wife, to get some groceries. We can't go too far because of the quarantine, and they actually send you the government actually sends you messages on your mobile phone, and it tells you like you can't really walk anywhere. It's just contain yourself, self isolation stuff. Yeah, pina colada probably. Yeah, and it was like really cold, really really cold, and I was like,
Strong wind.
and very strong wind. Yeah, yeah. This is like even worse. Even in Siberia where we lived before, it was cold, but it was like a dry cold, and wind makes it much worse. So it's like it like gets to your bones that kind of cold. So King F1, and we have time. Firuza has really long time, 3 minutes versus 5 to 6 minutes, and but Firuza has a very good position. I'm pretty sure he really likes his position. So let's see those faces. Let us see those faces. We all love to see their faces, right? Why did he move back to Russia? Because I married a great Russian girl. Yeah. And also, I moved, closer here because my mom lives here. Okay, in St. Petersburg. So let's see it, Firuza's face. You guys see it? And Fabiano. Wow. I just didn't realize it, but these guys look a little bit similar, yeah? Glasses, serious approach, even the posture is very close to similar, yeah? Wow. So maybe Firuza is next Fabiano, yeah? Maybe. Okay. So we saw the 97 move, 97. The idea is to put the knight to c5, maybe e5, knight c4. Okay, I guess bishop e7, and bishop goes to f6. So that's what Fabio was thinking about, because his bishop on d6 was basically looking at this pawn on f4, but on f6 it will be, it will be much improved. And the rook d1 probably has to be played, the knight b6, and black gets this knight c4, kicks him out. And that is why this knight c4 maybe wasn't such a great idea in the first place, right? So that's why computer likes really to play knight f3 here, because knight will be blocking the pawn on the light square, and then potentially this knight can hop to d4 c6, because on c4 he cannot really attack any of those a pawns. It doesn't have any really next point of jump, right? While on f3 the knight can potentially jump to d4 c6 really quickly. And you really need the c file to keep open for the white rook. So I would say Fabio now played very nice two moves, which limited white's advantage now. And knight a4. I really like this computer suggestion again, rook c6 to get this rook to c2. Right, if bishop c3, then knight a4. So get that line. Kind of looks important. And but this knight a4 also not bad. Yeah, Fabio is 1 year younger than Magnus. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I have no idea how old is that though. What does it mean? 1 year younger than Magnus? How old is Magnus? You guys know? He's like what, 28, 29? Something. Yeah. 1990? Oh, he's 30. Oh, okay, 29. Okay, 30. So he'll be 30 this year, and Fabio is 29. My God, time flies. I remember when both of these kids were like 13, 14, yeah, and I was playing these kids. Now they're 30. They can have children of their own soon, yeah. My God, unbelievable. Ooh, but I can bet almost anything their kids will not play chess. Haha. It seems like a rule, yeah. All those famous grandmasters, champions, right? I mean, do you know any of those champions that have kids that play chess professionally? None, right? Tal, no. Who else? Gary, no. Anatoly Karpov, no. Bobby, he had no kids, right? Spassky, no. Anybody else? Lasker, I don't know about Lasker life. I think he did he have kids or not? Botvinnik, nope. But Botvinnik had Botvinnik had some relatives who played, and he had actually. Wow, you remember me, up and coming prodigy? Wow. Now you must be really old. I'm just kidding, man. Wow, if you remember that, I was like, wow, okay. So, what happened in the last two moves? Yeah, b3, knight b6. White successfully managed to put his pawns. Yeah, White successfully managed to put his pawns on light squares. So Fabi is got a great thank you note from Alriza, because now White's position is back to better. I really don't like this rook c1. Rook should protect this d5 square away from black knight on t5. And now g5, h5, g4, knight d5. Yeah. Top 10 in the world 16. Yes, that was exactly 1 year younger than you. Ah. And all right then. Smyslov's son was a chess player. He was. Ooh, really? How good he was? Was he a GM? Did he? Do you know? That was interesting. That would be interesting to know, actually. Oh, the one that tragically died, I think, right? I think I read somewhere that his son died, yeah? And yeah, that was a tragedy, actually. Yeah, I think I read about that. Wow. He committed suicide, yeah. Yeah. Yep, life can be really tragic sometimes. He didn't do well in World Juniors. Well, juniors is like this thing, right? A lot of, in the US, for example, a lot of kids, they play chess while they're in high school. But when it comes to make a decision between playing chess and going to college, like 99% make a decision to go to college, right? And not only their decision, but of course their parents basically push them to go to college. And then that's how we lost a lot of great players, great American players in the 90s, right? That's how we lost, I think, we lost a lot of, that's how we lost Al Shaked, I think, even. And other guys, right? I think Ilya Gurovich was also, he was a grandmaster, he was a very strong player, but then he stopped playing. He went into the professional job doing something else. Don't remember what he was doing. And other kids. So that's a disaster, yeah. All right, but these days, of course, we have St. Louis, you have Webster with Susan Polgar, you have St. Louis with their program, you have Texas, right, college with the chess programs. Waitskin, yeah, exactly. Oh, we see another game. Is there another game in progress? Ooh la la! And we see Magnus. Magnus is saying like, I'm gonna play Slav and I'm gonna show you how it's being done. Okay. This is well, this is so smart, you know. You guys realize, right, that Vashir Maxim is right now he's the on the first place in the candidates, and they have only 7 games left to go. So there's a pretty good chance the Maxim is gonna be actually a challenger for Magnus Carlsen, right? So what we see now is in advance they playing this great psychological game, right? And Magnus is basically trying to, scare the crap out of Vasily Graf. That's just, I'm telling you, it's like nobody's gonna admit it. Okay, they're not gonna admit it, but it's always done. It's done all the time, especially the top chess. To get the psychological advantage. Like again, boxers, they try to, to do this thing, like right, they're trying to scare each other. And same thing in chess. Well, well, okay, but yeah, so we see this thing, and Magnus is saying like, okay, I'm gonna show you how you play Slav here. Okay, is my wife a chess player? She is a women's grandmaster. Yeah, and this is actually the line that I stopped playing for White because Peter Svidler, in the name of whom one of my fans on Twitch, he came up with the name for St. Petersburg. Because not because because of Peter the Great, but because he called it Saint Svidlersburg, right? In honorable mention of Peter the Svidler, right? So Peter actually played this line with black, and I stopped playing it with white. There was some crazy line here. I remember it was like, but not this one. I don't think Peter actually taught Magnus this line. So this Magnus came up with himself. Yeah, definitely not this line. I don't know this line. Yeah, there is like queen b6, bishop e6, rook d8 stuff. Yeah, but b5, like I don't know. I never seen this. Well, I seen this play, but usually not in this position. And then black probably has to play queen b6, bishop e6, h6, knight b7, something like that. I played it myself also, but not in this line particular. Not in this particular line. Usually this happens when white plays e3, but this should be interesting. All right, so what happens here? We have king d5, and we see actually, ooh, white is worse. What is going on? What happened? What did I just miss? What happened what happened that I missed here? Rook b6, b4. Okay, see what I was talking about? White played this rook c1 move. Very bad move, right? And then black just managed to play knight d5 right away. And then white played another bad move. He played a very passive move and allows black rook to go to b6, attack your opponent b3, bring your king to e6. So in a matter of 2 moves, you know, you're top GMs in the world, right? You have small amount of time, but you still have to be precise. And most of what FGMs do at this level, they do prophylaxis. They see where your opponent wants to do, and you just simply deny it, and that's what happens in the blitz. In this game, it did not, because basically white just held black completely to improve all his pieces here. Look at this 91 move. King e2, king e3 is like automatic stuff, right? 91, he was afraid of bishop e7, now he wants to play 93, I guess. Again, a5. 96, knight c5 check, right? He probably blundered it, but now white pawns are weak. Now black pawns are good. And so we fast forward here. Black is actually better. And rook d4 playing for some cheapos here. Black is now much better. King b5 was logical, okay, but see, king d6. King b5 is logical, strong, but he sees, Fabi sees white wants to play rook e6. He denies it. He plays king d6, so it's a lot of denial stuff in chess at this level. And black is just better, so it's a question of whether Fabi can win this game. If he wins, it will be 3-0 for Fabi, and this will register as a huge psychological shock for Firuzai. I don't know. I think you know, it will be quite a blow to his psyche, to be honest. You know, losing 3-0 in a rapid in such fashion. Okay, he only needs a draw. Yeah, well, he needs a draw, but this is also basically. Again, do you realize how hard it is to play when you have no moves? When your opponent basically sees everything, you start to lose your confidence, right? You start to lose time. You start to try to come up with some plan, but whatever you come up with is being completely ruined, right? And that's how you lose, right? That's when you lose confidence, and that's when you start blundering. So this is what happens. So, but there is a small but. Having said all that, there is a small but, and that is that Fabi, he is also, I mean, he's a good endgame specialist. Probably not as good as Magnus, though. But if he doesn't see something concrete, if he doesn't see like a real win, he is gonna just really play it solid. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's just a draw. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so white is really going for this. He's starting to play rook e8 with the king going to d3, e4, I guess. All right, so this game is just starting, right? Now it's starting. White king is now active. So let's see this. b5, queen c2, bishop f5. And we see queen d1. And the idea is that you want to play knight c3. And black is going to have this weakness on c6. And suddenly we have this incredible, absolutely incredible c5 move. And Magnus sort of inviting white to play either knight d2 or knight g5 and grab the rook on a8, right? So this is like I don't know, I don't know what to call it. This is definitely very provocative play by the world champion. And just like in previous game, remember guys how he left his king in the center and then he played this knight e4, you know, doubling his pawns, and then Maxim blundered the tactics, right? I don't know. I think Magnus found the way to. More accurate to say, he found some weakness in Maxim's game. 95, yes, bishop e4, but I was talking about knight g5, which is computer first line here, or knight fd2. But then again, black will sacrifice the exchange, which is a typical Catalan sacrifice. And Maxim really don't want to go into this position where he is in exchange up, but he is really behind the development. So knight c3, very solid move. And now he's thinking, knight h4. Interesting. Interesting move. The computer likes d5. I think d takes c5 more safer actually. But then of course you don't really want to activate black bishop on g7. So this is like Grunfeld. It is Grunfeld actually. So knight h4. So we're going to see some tactics here. These exchange sacks are so typical. They do them automatically. Well, alright, so let's see what happened here. Knight e7, king d3. White is better again. See, black didn't play king b5 here, right? He could have played king b5 here and then, you know, sort of go bishop c3, take this pawn on b4. Or king b5, rook c6, rook e6, rook c6, right? Instead, he plays king d6. White gets his king all the way to c4. And now white is doing actually good. White is doing good. Rook b1 back. And rook a8, knight c6, king goes to f5, g6, and going after these pawns. Oh my god. What is going on? King f5, and black is just much worse. I don't know what's happening here. This is kind of crazy chess to me, to be honest. Probably, you know, if these guys played this game on the real board, I believe 100% that a lot of moves that they play online, they would not play on the real board. So this online chess, it does something to you. So bishop d8, the idea is to play king c7 and king b7, I guess, right? Try to catch that rook on a8. But now bishop g7, okay, and if king c7, then knight e5 probably. Yeah, knight e5, king b7, knight c6, king a8, knight d8, so that doesn't work. So after bishop g7, black is just lost. Yeah, as I said, you know, Firuza was pretty good in the endgame. I remember when I was playing this kid, it was a rapid game though. I was impressed the way he played the endgame. I was really impressed. Yeah, king b5 was the chance, right? Because you know, white, black king was on d5. Well, let's look again at this position. Like, you guys remember this position? Black king is centralized, right? A very active rook, very passive white pieces. Black can basically play knight c6, knight d4, like force a draw anytime he wants to. And now look at this position right now, yeah? What happened? What the heck happened here? What the heck happened? Unbelievable. Yeah, knight d4, very strong. 96 is yeah, white is just winning. This is just winning game for white now. So let's go back to Magnus' game. He is finally thinking. The original idea was to take on t4 probably, but then probably realized that white can just grab this bishop and grab the exchange and grab the pawn, right? So black cannot actually sacrifice the exchange this way, so he has to play cd4, which was computer first line. And now this will be interesting. Knight e5 looks strong. And then I'm thinking knight b5 maybe. Not bishop c6, but knight b5. I think that will be a human way to play this position. And, knight b5, knight e4. Okay, knight b5, knight e4, black is better. So white has to take this knight on c6. And after rook c8, bishop b5, dc3, bishop bc3, knight e4, black will be slightly better in the endgame. So Maxim will end up in a slightly worse position again. Number 1, number 2, rapid elo facing each other. Okay. The Prestige. Thank you for new followers. Thank you for joining the channel. This is gonna be the last round for me, unfortunately, because you know, I need to get some rest. I need also to, you know, prepare for the Simul thing I'm doing later today. And just basically get some rest because I was streaming non-stop for the last week at least. Okay, rook c8. Yeah, black looks really good here. Knight b5, rook takes c6, knight d4 is impossible. What about knight b5, rook c6, queen d4? That looks better to me, but then a6, right? a6, Queen d8, rook d8, knight c3, knight e4. Black definitely has compensation. The only question is he really that much better, or is it going to be a draw? It's going to be a draw. The Simul is at 9 o'clock Moscow time. It's for my subscribers to show you guys my appreciation for your support for my channel. And I'm still thinking about the time. So yesterday I tested the 20-minute start time and then followed by 5-minute increment for each move, but that's probably too much, yeah? So time control, yeah, it's time control. So let me know what is like, I'm still not experienced with this online online Simul. So what is the best idea? Is it probably better to start with like 10 or 15 minutes and then add more time? 5 minutes increments probably too much, yeah? I'm thinking maybe 3 minutes, maybe 2-minute increment, because I don't know how many people will turn up. Again, it'll probably be, again, 35 boards, I guess, max, right? Yeah. Andromeda, thank you, guy. Timing was perfect. Some people give themselves 2 hours in no increment. Really? Well, I'll test different time formats, okay? So yesterday was kind of too long, so definitely I'll test something else today. And this is gonna be like now on a continuing basis, right? I'm discovering new things. So we're gonna do some things together. We'll change formats until we find what works best for you guys and me, right? So let's test it out. So what happened here? And Fabi resigns because it is incredible to me, of course, yeah? He turned the game around and then he just basically collapsed in the end game. After white king, the brave king by Firuza managed to get to e4 and boom. Wow. Very impressive. So this was the round number 3. This is the round number 4 game. So unfortunately, you guys, I need to take a break. And I wish for Maxim to win this game and to enter the Armageddon, but I really doubt that he can win this game against Magnus, because Black just has too much, his position is way too solid. I think this is going to be a draw, and then Magnus probably win this match. And Fabi will, in the last game, definitely not lose. He's too solid for that. So he's going to win the match as well. So, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for rating. And I will come back for the Simul. And right now, let's see if some of my friends here, I can raid you guys. And, oh, Jan is not online. Sabine is also not online, and I don't see anybody online except Blitzstream, but he is very popular, so he doesn't need my raid. So, all right. So that means thank you guys for joining, and I'll be back in 1 hour and a half. Yeah, it's 1 hour and a half from now. Okay. So see you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.